My name is Husna Ismail Nyadira. I am an artist and illustrator based in Nairobi, Kenya, and I work for NABU as a children's books illustrator. I've been working with NABU as a children's book illustrator since March of 2021, and I've enjoyed it so far. I realized that I loved drawing and art and coloring when I was a very young girl, back in primary school. I remember there was this show on a station called KTN, called Club Kiboko. It was a kids show and there was a Mr. Sketch. It was a segment where you used to follow what the artist was doing. So I used to follow step by step, and it was really enjoyable and I was good at it. I was fortunate enough to find a high school that had art and design as a subject. And I did it for 4 years and I was good at it as well. And I decided that this is something I'd like to pursue later on, but I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do with my art. So there was this school trip we went to Kenyatta University. I remember back when I was in my Form 3 class, and I got to see what artists do. I got to see people doing fabric design, people doing sculptures for a living. So that is where my mind started to explore opportunities that I could do in art, and I started thinking towards that direction of how can I do my art as a career. When I finished my degree, I worked for 1 year, but I decided to go back to art, and that is when I started freelancing as an artist and illustrator. 2 years ago, I participated in a competition. It was a coffee cup competition by a restaurant in Nairobi. And I was fortunate enough to be third, and that is how I got into the digital space, illustrating as a digital artist here in Kenya. I have had many influences since childhood. So number one influence is cartoons, obviously, cartoons and comic books. I used to love reading a lot of comic books. There was Bino, I remember Dandy back in primary school. And then in high school, my art teacher. In campus, when I got into the mentorship program, the artist that mentored us. And now I get a lot of inspiration from the artists that I work with at NABU, and as well as other artists all around the world. I'm thankful that we have social media and we are a global village where I can see what other people in other countries are doing. I can learn from them as well. I've worked for NABU from March of 2021. And since then, I've learned quite a lot. I've been working with illustrators from Kenya and Rwanda, and it has helped me learn how to work with people remotely, number one. Number two, I've learned how to use softwares that I have never heard of before. There's Clip Studio Paint and there's Procreate, and it has really improved my workflow. And I've also learned how to approach children's books. Because we are drawing for children, you have to keep them interested. You have to keep it fun. So that I've learned how to do that. Because initially my art was just for self-expression, but now you have to do work that is impactful for children, not just for you. So I have learned how to follow the brief and get creative. I love illustrating for NABU books because they are so relatable to African children, and the setting is in Africa, and we get to illustrate characters that when the children read the book and see the illustrations, they can see themselves in them, and I know that makes them more enjoyable and relatable compared to seeing reading books that are just fairy tales that don't happen in Africa. For the young girls who are thinking of getting into the creative industry, if you have the skill and you have the passion, just go for it. There's so many opportunities, and I'm sure there's space for all of us. So just go for it and learn. And to the parents as well, I know it's a bit new, especially for African parents, to let their children follow their skill or their passion. But I will tell you that it's very fulfilling to work with what you love and do what you love for a living.